Hey, everybody, welcome back. Today's episode is going to be an interesting one because I know so many of us are on LinkedIn. And for the longest time, I used LinkedIn as, frankly, a platform for finding jobs back when I was back in the job market of, searching for, which companies did I want to work for, and so on. But, and I've been reluctant to use LinkedIn, frankly, just until the past 6 to 9 months or so, because again, I thought it was just more for like finding a job. And, how do you really connect with people in the LinkedIn space? Because it is more of that professional setting, whereas, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is a lot more personal. Like you can be personal with people. And I'll tell you this much. LinkedIn, you can still be personal. You can still share part of your personality. And of course, personality is and communication style is the one thing that I preach and teach on all the time. And just a total segue into this. But if you're looking for trainings on how to train your employees and train your staff, if you're a small business owner, how to actually communicate in such a way that your communication lands and resonates with your perfect client and gets them to buy the thing, set the appointment, do the call to action, whatever your call to action is. I teach and train on communication and personality styles. And this is a critical must have if you're in business and if you're in business development, which let's just face it, if you're a business owner or you're an executive, you're in charge of business development at some point. You just are. Okay. So back to the regularly scheduled topic here. But I'm telling you, it's so interesting. A couple of weeks ago, I got a text message from a managing partner of a very large public accounting firm. And he texted me, and I'm going to read this to you. So I'm looking at my phone here. So for those of you who are listening, just bear with me. I read your comments on LinkedIn, and they're always personalized and have something unique. We, meaning his company, we do a lot of posts, and when we just click off something about our firm, I started doing once a quarter just a personalized leadership type message, and I've ended up with work both times. Okay. I wanted to get our team better at this and see if what I'm doing is in the right direction. I wanted to get your thoughts on this and maybe something that you can help me. I'd like to contract with you, to do this. And so I thought that was really interesting. And this particular individual, I was reading some of his latest posts, and his posts are not, I call it I'm using air quotes here. They're not the corporate look at my company and all of the cool things that we're doing, even though, yes, we do have to incorporate parts of that into our messaging on LinkedIn. We have to celebrate the wins. We've got to show, I call it the testimonials, the recommendations, the things that people are saying about your firm. Of course, you want your market to know that. Of course you do. But if those are the only posts that you're putting out there into the world, frankly, it's pretty damn boring. Okay. And boring does not sell. But what does sell is a unique message. Okay. That's clearly defined by your personality, right? This particular individual has a lot of warmth to him. He's got a lot of charisma, and he shares stories. And some of the stories that I've seen him share on LinkedIn really do share an insight as to, in fact, one of the recent stories I saw from him that had over 350 comments on it was something along the lines of his mom and how his mom really helped, support and, get him into, being in the professional services world. And now, of course, he's in leadership, within his big, huge firm. And, he was talking about his mom and how his mom was his biggest cheerleader. And oh my gosh, how many people, I'm asking you, how many people can resonate with that story? They have someone special in their life who has boosted them and have stood by them and have, told them to run the extra mile when they felt like they wanted to give up. I mean, that is a story we can all relate to. And there's a reason why this guy had over 350 comments on this LinkedIn post and has landed he's landed 2 contracts from it as well. Not just from this one post, but from posts very similar. He's landed work from people who saw his posts on LinkedIn and were like, ooh, that's the kind of guy that I want to work with. That's the kind of person that I want managing my business. Okay. And I want you to think about this for yourself. All right. If you're just posting corporate talk out there, you're not going to get the engagement. You're not getting people who are like, ooh, I need to work with that person. People buy from people. They don't buy from companies. And I know I've said this a million times as well, too, and I'll continue to, beat my drum on it. But I'm telling you, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And the way that they can get to know, like, and trust you is when you share information about yourself that you think will resonate with your ideal client. Okay, that's first and foremost. I'm a big fan of putting information out there into the world that you think that your prospective clients, your audience, your network would like to see about you, and be thinking about it. Yeah, I've actually had people ask me this too. It's like, okay, well, so how do I know what personal information to put out there into the world? And it's really simple. Okay, this is a really simple strategy that you need to use. You need to be thinking about who is the client that you're wanting to work with, like who is that person, and what should they hear about you? What do they want to hear about you? Okay, I'm going to guarantee it's probably not your political views on your religious views on things. Maybe it is, but more often than not, probably not. But the stories of this guy that I'm just referencing here, this managing partner, the story of his mother. I mean, again, those are stories that so many of us can relate to. So I want you to be thinking about it from that lens, from that angle. Who's your perfect client? What are the types of stories that they need to hear from you? And I want you to put that information out to the world. And yes, it absolutely can connect on LinkedIn as well, too. This isn't just a Facebook post. No, this is a LinkedIn post because it's connecting you to your work life as well. Okay. So that's what I want you to think about when it comes to your LinkedIn posting strategy. Yes, you've got to have the educational posts. Yes, you've got to have the testimonial post. Yes, you've got to have some of the corporate stuff out there. Absolutely, you do. But I would also encourage you to sprinkle in some of your personality because, again, people buy from people, not from businesses. And I want you to think about how that can actually work for you. All right. That is it for this week. I hope this has helped you figure out what should your LinkedIn posting strategy look like, because you gotta add in the personal stuff. You just do. Okay. So until next time, have a great week.